The smear campaign is a toxic, hideous, horrendous form of abuse that requires no access to you whatsoever. And in this video, I'm going to dive into exactly what it is, how it works, but most importantly, give you the tools that you need and deserve to feel like you can better navigate such a difficult situation. All of that said, if this is the first time that you've ever been here, my channel, I talk about toxic, dysfunctional, and abusive relationships, particularly within the family, but in general as well. And so if that feels like it could be useful to you, why don't you subscribe, turn on the notifications and all that jazz as well, so you don't miss any of the videos that I make, because they are pretty banging. But today's video, I've actually made notes today because I've got a lot to get through with you here, but I really want to arm you with the knowledge that you need to be able to navigate this. And then finally, at the end of the video as well, we'll make sure we get to what you can do, the actual practical things that you can do to make this better and easier to navigate, as hideous and as horrendous it is. I've actually written my own definition for what the smear campaign is. So I'm going to read it out to you here. The smear campaign is the deliberate, conscious, or perhaps semi-conscious attempt to tear away someone's social status, support systems, and leave them questioning their own sanity. That's the definition that I've come up with, and I think it's like really important to get to the crux and the heart of what I mean when I say that. So how does somebody do the smear campaign on you? I think it's important to understand, right, straight off the bat, that toxic and horrible people will have already been setting the seeds for the smear campaign when they were with you, right? When you broke free from that relationship, they would have seen that the breaking free was starting to come. And so they would have started, if they can, infiltrating the people close to you and planting little seeds of doubt in them. They'll plant little seeds of doubt in everybody anyway, because they are so used to using that as a bit of a tactic and knowing that they could need it as a tool in future life. But once they've done that, right, the way that they go about this is that they will infiltrate your friends. So you may have like broken free from that toxic relationship, abusive relationship, whatever it was. And what you'll notice is that that person's now literally infiltrating all some of your closest friends and doing a fucking good job of it, right? They may already have made friends with them as a result of their relationship with you, if it's your parent or a partner or whatever. But even if they haven't, they'll be getting themselves in there. And this already, right, makes you think, what's going on here? Like all of a sudden, like when you fucking hated them, but now that I'm no contact with you and I've cut you, all of a sudden you're making friends with somebody that potentially was even your enemy at the time. And they do this very, very purposely because what they are doing is trying to infiltrate your support systems, right? This is really important to understand, right? This isn't just going about slandering you, saying, oh, you know, you're a fucking horrible person, and letting everybody know that that's what they think of you. Because that won't work on your closest friends. They'll be like, well, I know they're not a horrible person, right? It's way more manipulative than that, right? It's way more insidious than that. They're going in, right? And they're going to your closest support systems and they want to rip them away. So already we can start to see what a hideous form of abuse this is. If they can start to plant seeds and eventually get the people closest to you to start to think something bad of you, all right, then they are abusing you from afar without even the need to be able to be in contact with you, right? Let's be really clear about that. And so once they've infiltrated your friends like that, where they think they can get away with it, they will slander you, right? They will fucking really talk you down. But in most cases, what it's going to be is those little seeds. Those little seeds normally of victimhood. They will use half truths and semi truths, right? So that they can really get in there, and they'll even act like they're not slandering you, like they're trying to see it from your point of view, so that they just look like this horrible broken victim. And these people then start to think, well, how could you be like that to them? And like I say, I don't want to give them the credit of saying they're good at this, but they fucking know what they're doing. And so they really do get in there. And of course, this leaves you then questioning your own sanity. Maybe I am the fucking bad one. Like if they've managed to convince and manipulate and like groom all of these people in that way, then maybe I am the problem. What it also makes you do then is you start to act erratic. Every time you see somebody, you're thinking, are they part of the smear? Like, have they heard about me? Like, have they like had somebody talk down about me? So then you're like questioning yourself, and you start, when you see these people, you start introducing yourself by saying, "Oh, I'm doing really well. I'm being a good person," and like. Then you think, oh my God, I sound crazy. And then you act more crazy. And then you see what happens is that you become wary of everybody. The impact on you is that you become wary of everybody. You start to believe that you're coming from a negative place with everybody that you interact with. Do I need to make it up to this person, right? Do I need to like convince them? Have they heard the smear, right? And so you can understand the impact. And if you've been on the end of a smear campaign, you will be resonating with this already. Something else that I just want to move on to here is, I often get asked, how is the smear campaign? Like, I'm telling my grandchildren perhaps about their nan or their granddad who is your parent and they're abusive to you, and people say, I'm telling them the truth. How is that different to the smear campaign? If you look at the definition that I brought at the beginning, it is the deliberate act, and it's normally using half truths, little truths, and lies to rip away the support systems around people. When you are talking about the truth of your abuse, that is not the same as a smear campaign. You're doing it to fucking tell the truth. So when it's the truth, it's not a smear campaign. These people are highly manipulative, and like I say, they'll use half truths, and they'll do that on purpose so that they can try and make out like it's not the fucking smear campaign, right? And rest assured, and you know this more than anything else, toxic and horrible people learn this lingo, so they will, if they can, tell you that you're smear campaigning, because that's what they do. They are manipulative. This is why truth, clear truth, real truth becomes so vital. It becomes so important in these instances, because they fucking hide in these cracks and nuances of what we're talking about, right? Particularly with emotional abuse. And then there's the big myth here, and I really want to fucking break this, because I see this all the time online. People comment on my stuff all of the time online, and say the smear campaign won't work if you don't care what anybody thinks of you. Listen, I don't think that's achievable. We're interdependent human beings. We're supposed to have human beings in our life that can care for us and that we care for. So the idea that you're going to go fucking to this place where you don't care what anybody thinks is unrealistic. That's not how life works. We need our support systems. We need our relationships. And when they are very purposely infiltrating those relationships and those support systems, it's a fucking abusive. And there's, in some cases, feels like there's nothing you can do about it. All right. So some people will say, yeah, but well, if they believe them, then they're not your friends either. Again, it's not always that simple. These are highly manipulative people that we're dealing with in many, many cases. All right. So if you are affected by the smear campaign in this instance, it doesn't mean that you're failing, right? It doesn't, like, the solution is to not go, fuck everyone, I don't care what any of you think. Although you may do that at the beginning, and I understand why you would. The solution's much different. And that moves me on to what you can do when you're being smear campaigned. Listen, in most instances, a lot of the sort of broader instances, your silence is golden. Your silence is your dignity. You go about your fucking business in a clear, integral way. You carry your integrity. This is why I always see, like, when we look in like popular culture and like breakups play out in the celebrity field, I'm always wary of the one that's like fucking talking about it all the time and won't let it drop when the other one's a bit silent. Now, it's probably a bit of a bad example, because somebody could be talking about abuse in that case, and so it's probably a shit example. But your silence is golden. Your dignified silence in most instances is golden. But what about your support systems and your friends? Speak to your support systems, your close friends. Don't wait to see if they bring it up. Don't sweep it under the carpet. Go to the people that really care about you, right? Your close friends. And that'll be a small amount of people, really. And you say, listen, you can send them this video, right? You can say, I believe I'm being smear campaigned. It's making me feel uneasy and uncomfortable. I have some fears and some worries that they're going to come to you. And I just want you to know how highly manipulative it is. And if at any point you ever have any questions, I'm willing to answer them. Please come to me. Don't make assumptions. And your close friends will understand that and they'll be on your side. When you try and sweep it under the carpet, then you're going to lead yourself down these alleyways, right? You want to be clear. You want to act in truth, is what we're talking about here. Yeah. And then finally, live your life, man. Go and live your life. Use this as an opportunity. You will weed out some of the people that don't deserve to be in your life. Some of the people will become flying monkeys and fully get on board with them. And in those cases, we can't say fuck them, get rid of them. I've been in my own life on the end of a horrendous smear campaign, and what it taught me was that I don't need a massive social circle. My close my close friends, the ones that know me, that stick by me, that hear me, they're the ones that really matter. And use this as an opportunity to find out who they are and go and live the best possible life that you can. All right. And when you do that, by the way, the toxic and horrible person will hate it and eventually go on and find a new supply, because that's what they're trying to do. Keep you as a supply. Don't be their supply. I hope this has helped. I've tried to cram in as much as I can. Like I said, I brought notes with me today, which I don't normally do, but I wanted to get in as much as I can. Go and follow me on social media. There's loads of stuff. I do lots of live stuff around this as well that can be really, really useful for you. And I'll see you on the next one.